Hey guys! So today I'm gonna be doing my March wrap up. Um, and sorry that I'm wearing glasses, but I tried to put my contacts in the other night and I had them in for maybe like 3 or 4 hours, and then my right one started hurting really bad, so I was like, nah. So I took them back out and put my glasses back on, and I will try to put my contacts back in tomorrow, but for now I'm not gonna worry about it. Anyways, um, so if you see me like tense a little bit or do some weird movements, um, I hurt my shoulder a couple months back when I was at work, and I guess the other day I did something to like re-injure it. So yesterday morning I woke up at 5 in the morning and I just had the most insane painful sensation going on in my shoulder, and I just was like, I wanted to cry. I just did not feel good at all, and I actually had to work 10 to 5 yesterday, but I ended up letting my manager know what was going on, and he's had problems with his shoulder as well, and he was really understanding, and he's like, well, it's not a big deal, because I was just working like a mid shift, so it wasn't like I was affecting anybody else for the most part. So he was like, well, it's not really a big deal, like, and everything, and he told me, I could take the day off if I wanted to, so I went ahead and did that, which that is the first time in my entire life. I'm 20, I've been working since I was 16, this is the first time I've ever had to call into a job. Ever. Like, I've gone to work sick as a dog before, and I've been sent home by managers, but I have never actually called in. So, yeah. So I was in a lot of pain. Lot of pain. I am feeling a lot better today. Well, I say a lot. I'm feeling considerably better today, but there is still a lot of pain. And the thing is I have a really high pain tolerance, so when I'm in major pain, it's probably like extremely bad for like anybody else. So for me, I can kind of deal right now, but it hurts a lot. The reason I'm filming this is because I have to, next week I like work and then I'm off, then I work and then I'm off, and I have a research paper that's due like in 2 weeks, and I need to work on that, so I'm trying to get some filming done and get some videos up. So that's what's happening. So I'm going to stop rambling now about my health and stuff, and we're just going to get into the wrap up. So the first thing I read this month was Neon Genesis Evangelion Angelic Days. You guys know this is like a manga that my boyfriend is like really, really obsessed with. This is volume 3. I've been slowly reading these mangas, and they're kind of just good for like when I have a readathon and the challenge is read a graphic novel, because I own manga, but I've already read all my manga that I own, so I just borrow his. So yep, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, so yeah. The next thing I read was Shadow Kiss by Rochelle Mead. I don't know if I said this, but I read 14 books this month, which is great when you consider the fact that I went to England at the beginning of this month. At the beginning of March, me and my boyfriend went to England to see the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child and to go on the Warner Brothers tour, and it was really amazing, and I loved it so much, and like the play was fan-fucking-tastic. Like, it was so great. It was so great. If you look up at the bookshelves, those are pictures of me at the Warner Brothers tour on the broomstick. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, back to the wrap up. So yeah, Shadow Kiss. I read this. I actually finished this like the night before we were leaving to go, and I made my boyfriend put the next book in his bag, but I didn't end up reading it, but just in case, because the ending of this pissed me off so bad because of the fucking cliffhanger on it. I was so angry. Like, I was fucking, like, really angry. I just was like, I was telling my boyfriend all about it, and I was like, this is just so messed up. Like, how the hell can you do this? Like, just, and he was finding it pretty amusing, but I was really mad. I was, like, really mad. So, yeah. The next book I read was actually for school. I read it on my plane ride to London, and that's Henry V by William Shakespeare. and I gave it a 1 out of 5 stars because it was the most boring shit I have ever done. Hey, but I just took my test and guess what? I made a 94, so holla. I don't know, I do the weirdest shit, I'm sorry. Yeah, so good job me. The next book, I actually bought this in England. We went to this really cool bookstore, and it was basically like a second-hand bookstore, and this is The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, and it's like a really cool edition I've never seen before, and it was like super cheap, so I went ahead and bought it. I also got a really cool copy of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I get it for you guys, but it's up there. But I'll do a book haul and I'll show you guys. But yeah, but I read this on the plane ride back to Dallas, and because I do want to watch the show that's on Netflix, and I'm rereading the series, so I reread this and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was pretty good. And then the next thing I read was Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I also got this when I was at London. I got it at Waterstones, because if you gotta go to Waterstones. That's what everybody says, so yeah. And I really enjoyed this. I have never read The Night Circus, but I do own it. I need to read it, but people say it's a lot like The Night Circus, so I can't really attest if it is or not, but it was extremely interesting, and I really enjoyed, like, the world, and I really enjoyed the world, and I really enjoyed the characters, and I just love how there was a lot of twists and turns, and the ending, like, finding out what actually happened was just kind of like, okay. So, yeah, I did really enjoy this. So, yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was this is some of these are going to be from the library, so I've already returned them, so I can't hold them up, or they're from Overdrive, which obviously I can't hold those up, so if I'm not holding up a book, that is why, because it's from the library or Overdrive, so, which is the digital library, so, The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. I don't know, I've just been kind of wanting to read some royalty stuff. I'm actually writing a book, and it has to deal with royalty and that kind of stuff, so that's what I'm interested in. So it's kind of research in a way. So anyway, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Makes me want to watch the movie, because those movies are fantastic. Like, but I really don't like how the grandma is portrayed in the books. I prefer how she's portrayed in the movies, because Bae, she's so awesome in the movies. Anyway, the next book I read, I also got from Waterstones, and that is Night Owls by Jen Bennett. I saw Maddie talked about this on Heartful of Books. Honestly, I think both of them talked about it, but I just remember Maddie talking about it more, I don't know. Anyway, but they talked about this, and they really liked it, and I really liked it, and it was pretty good. It was really short, like, it goes by incredibly fast. I think I read this in, like, the span of a day or something. But I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Basically, I have given, like, everything 4 out of 5 stars this month, except for, like, one thing got 5 stars, and I'm like, and, of course, Henry V got 1 star, because not good. I'm sorry, guys. If you have to read Henry V, I am so fucking sorry. Like, why couldn't you have wrote a play about Henry VIII? Henry VIII is, which Henry VIII was probably not alive in Shakespeare's time or something, which is why. No, wait, he was, because Shakespeare wrote under Elizabeth I, his fucking daughter. So why the hell did he not write? Well, maybe he did write. I don't know. Did he write a play about Henry VIII? And why the hell did my professor not have us read that play? That would have been way more fucking interesting than Henry V, because Henry V literally does nothing but fucking be really creepy towards Princess Catherine. Basically, that's what happens. Okay. Anyway, we gotta kind of wrap this up, because I gotta go meet my dad, so let's get back to this. Next book I read was The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. I had started this a couple months back. I only gotten 20 pages in, and then I put it down, because I was kind of not feeling it at the moment, but then I was, like, really wanting to read it, so then I picked it back up, and I finished it this month, and it was pretty good. I really like the way that they did, like, their turns and just the stuff that they did, because it was really whimsical, and I really loved like the island thing and the benches. Like, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, this isn't spoilery because I'm not telling you like what's happening, but those were fucking cool, and just, it's a really interesting story, and I love the characters. Like, they are so cool. Like, Vika is like, she's just cool. Like, she's amazing. I aspire to be her. But I am really excited for the second book, which comes out in May. It actually comes out the day after my birthday, so hopefully I'll be like, hey babe, I want this, and then he'll get it for me. So yeah, this was really good. And yeah, 4 out of 5. The next book I read is, the next few books I'm gonna talk about I read for the Borrow-a-thon, so they were library books, so I do not have them to show. But the first one was my graphic novel that I read for Borrow-a-thon, and that was Attack on Titan Volume 2, which I got from Overdrive, and I did enjoy this volume. I enjoyed getting the backstory of people more on this one, and I really enjoyed like the ending of it, like when you find out about the Titan. That is pretty good. Like, I was shocked when I found that out. I was just like, did not see that coming. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good, and I read it in the span of like 30 minutes. Like, that's how I read all manga. Manga takes me like 5 seconds, unless it's like one of the really big ones, but you know what I mean. The next book I read is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I was so excited when I went to the library for the Borrow-a-thon and that book was there. I was ecstatic because I had totally figured that somebody had already checked it out or my library hadn't gotten it yet, but it was sitting there on the shelf and I grabbed it so fast and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. I think it's more like a 4.5, but on Goodreads you can't like do 0.5s, but yeah, it was a really good book. And I really enjoyed the development of the characters. I really enjoyed, what is happening. The ending kind of made me a little bit mad. You know what I'm talking about if you've read it. So I'm hoping that gets resolved in the next book because I'm annoyed. I'm a little annoyed. But anyway. And then the next book I read was Princess Academy by Shannon Hell. And this was just really cute. Like I said, I've been reading a lot of royalty stuff lately, but it was just super cute, and it definitely wasn't what I was thinking it was gonna be, but I did still enjoy it, and I just really enjoyed our main character, Miri. She is just such a little ferocious thing, and she just kind of does what she's gonna do, and I really enjoyed that about her. So she was great, and I gave it 4 out of 5. The next book I read was A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, I think is how you say it. I'm sorry if that's not it. But yeah, this I gave a 4 out of 5 stars, and I really, really enjoyed this one, because I am obsessed with Sherlock, and I enjoyed it so much, and I didn't think I would because I'm really into Sherlock himself, and Sherlock the BBC show and stuff. But so I was like, I'm not gonna give a shit about the descendants of Sherlock and Watson, and then I loved it because Charlotte Holmes is literally Sherlock in a girl's body, and it's fantastic. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, this I think is really more like a 4.5 again, but on Goodreads, they need to put the 0.5 in there. They've got the reread function. They've been listening to us and putting all this stuff in there. Put in the point stars. Do it. Anyway, but yeah, it was really enjoyable, and I'm really excited to read the sequel, but I'm probably gonna have to wait until it comes to my library because I am poor. But yeah, we'll see. And the next book I read was The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket, which I got from my library again. And I really, really enjoyed it. The Reptile Room, I think, was my favorite when I first read the books, when I was in middle school. So when I reread it, and I did enjoy it a lot again. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the first time, but that's just because I'm older, obviously. I'm not in middle school anymore, and, you know, the writing, like, I definitely skip over the parts where he, like, explains what a word is. I just skip until it goes past that part, until it's, like, back to the story, because it's like I already know these things, you know? But they're still very enjoyable books, and I still really love the story. So I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last book I read this month was my favorite book, and that was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. And I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. This was fucking fantastic, and I am so sad that I have not read this sooner, because this came out in 2013, and I just read it, and I'm just like, I suck, because this is fucking fantastic, and I should have read this forever ago, and it's just so good. And I got the Mime Order out from my library as well, so I'll probably be reading that this month, and I'm just so excited. That's all I read, you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon later on. I do want to film. I did get tagged to do That 70s Show tag, and I'm like really excited about that. So you'll be seeing that soon, I hope. Hopefully I'll be filming that either today or tomorrow, but we shall see. So, see you guys later.